Shadow Mewtwo is coming to Pokemon Go this weekend, so I'm going to make sure you guys are ready and prepped with all the counters and everything you need to know about Shadow Mewtwo and Pokemon Go. So, welcome to the Trader Club. Here we go! Shadow Mewtwo will be in raid battles from Saturday, May 27th to 28th from 10 a.m. all the way until 8 p.m. You will only be able to participate in raid battles locally, which I am not the biggest fan of. However, that's just what the situation is right now. So let me know in the comments below if you guys are going to be participating in this, because you can finally catch Shadow Mewtwo, which does also have a shiny form now. And it's kind of weird that the raids don't start at, according to Pokemon Go and Leak Duck, at 6 a.m. So they could start at 6 a.m., but I'm not 100% certain. And I am going to assume that it's going to be a legendary raid egg, and it's going to have the shadow along the raid egg as well, just like as do the 1 and the 3-star raids, which I think is a very cool feature in this game. So you will be able to catch the Mewtwo at level 20 and level 25 if weather boosted in windy weather, which is a plus here because you can save a whole lot more Stardust when powering up the Pokemon. The base floor of the Shadow Mewtwo is going to be a 666, so the chances of you guys getting a good quality Shadow Mewtwo is so much less. However, at the same time, it is still possible. And if you do get a Shadow Mewtwo with stats 13, 13, 13, with purification, it can become a Shundo. However, I highly suggest you guys do not purify them unless, let's say, you get 3 of those Mewtwo's. Even then, it's kind of iffy, but think about it. The Shadow Mewtwo is incredibly amazing, and it's a permanent Pokemon in the game. Yes, the Mega Mewtwo will be stronger, but that is only an 8-hour window on that Pokemon as opposed to a permanent fixture with the Shadow form. Not only that, once the HP goes all the way down to half, so once you have half the health, when it turns yellow, it will become enraged. It looks like from what is going on right now, once the enragement comes, you will not be able to do any damage for about 5 seconds or so, and then it will be stronger until it's got about a 10th of the health left. According to right now, you can use one of the purified gems, which I think is having a little bit of issues right now. You can give a purified gem to the Mewtwo, which will then disenrage it, I guess you would call it. If you want to get shards, which 4 shards are going to make up a purified gem, you can do those through battling grunts, battling team leaders, and battling 1 and 3-star raids. As of right now, I'm not sure if the 5-star raids will give you more shards. I would hope they would, but I don't know exactly right now because obviously the 1 and the 3-star, so it would make sense that a Shadow Legendary would give you the most shards in Pokemon Go. So now let's change gears because this Pokemon is going to be strong. You are going to want to go after it with some trainers and do it obviously locally, so summoning up a group would be very important. And just remember, they have updated the feature on top of the gyms that it shows how many trainers are going to be in each raid. So all you have to do is look around on the gyms and see how many trainers are going to be in that raid. And that is a feature that we did petition for quite frequently in all of my guides. So it looks like Pokemon Go did update this feature. Thank you very much, which is incredible because then you can know if there are local trainers in the gyms. So now let's get into everything we need to know about Mewtwo to take it down and get ready for it. So it is going to have an attack value of 300. This Pokemon maxes out at 4,724, which is very impressive, okay? So this Pokemon is an all-psychic type. It's very, very heavy in the attack, not so much in the defense and stamina, but it does have very diverse moves, and it is very strong. So this Pokemon is going to be weak to 3 things with it being psychic, which is going to be Dark, Ghost, as well as Bug, and then additionally, it's going to resist psychic as well as fighting. Not only that, it is going to have quick moves, which are going to be Psycho Cut as well as Confusion. So Confusion, especially in the Shadow form, is going to do a lot of damage, especially on something like a Mega Gengar, because it's a stronger Pokemon. Because just remember, when a Pokemon is Shadow, it's going to be higher in the attack, lower in the defense, meaning it's going to be stronger, but it's going to go down a little bit faster. But when it gets enraged, the attack and the defense do raise, and it is going to be much more challenging. So this Pokemon's charge moves are going to be, number 1, it gets Psychic. Number 2, it gets Focus Blast. It gets Thunder, Ice Beam, Flamethrower, and then the legacy moves on this Pokemon are going to be Shadow Ball, Hyper Beam, as well as Psy Strike. So the Psy Strike is the premier move. Shadow Ball is a very premier move as well. So if you guys do choose to get this Pokemon, obviously you're going to catch it and it's going to have frustration. You are going to have to wait until there is another Team Rocket event, which I'm not sure why it's not going on now, to TM away this frustration, but you can also unlock a second charge move. Let's say you do get a Hundo and you want to power it up and start using it. You can do the second charge move, and then you can Elite TM that into either Psy Strike or Shadow Ball. And according to Pokebattler, it is going to take 1.76 trainers to take this down. I am just assuming that this is based on the regular Mewtwo and not including the enragement because I don't really know how they're going to account for that. But I would suggest starting off with at least 4 trainers just to see how it goes down. And then we will probably do a little bit of an analysis, maybe a quick video coming out on tomorrow night. And just remember, the 100% IV if holds true, as do these other Pokemon. 2387 at level 20, or if it's weather boosted. Windy weather only condition can boost it all the way to level 25 at at 29.84. So now let's transition over into the Mega Pokemon. Which Mega Pokemon should you use? It depends. If you need more help taking it down, we should use a counter Mega, which we'll go over here in a second. But if you want to get more XL candy, you're going to need to use a Psychic Mega. And there's one Psychic Mega that I am going to recommend, and that one is going to be Mega Alakazam in spot number 1, because it is a Psychic type Pokemon and it does get Shadow Ball. Or in spot number 2, you could use Mega Gardevoir. Mega Gardevoir also a Psychic type and it gets Shadow Ball. Whichever one of those you guys do have at Mega level 3, I highly suggest you use. But if you need an alternative Psychic type, you can use Mega Latios, Mega Latias, or Mega Slowbro. So there are multiple different options there. So those are to yield the most XL candy, Mega level 3 most important. But on to the counters to start taking down this Pokemon. In spot number 1, we have Mega Gengar with Shadow Claw and Shadow Ball. The problem with Mega Gengar is it is going to be weak to the Psychic type moves. So that is a problem right there. In spot number 2, we actually have Mega Bayonet with Shadow Claw and Shadow Ball. In spot number 3, we have Mega Houndoom with Snarl and Foul Play. So Snarl and Foul Play is one of those Pokemon that will be weak to Focus Blast. So there are moves in here that are going to be challenging for us to fight this Pokemon for most of these counters. And then in spot number 4, one of my favorite Pokemon is going to be Bite and Brutal Swing on the Hydreigon. So there are 2 of these Pokemon that I do have that I believe I probably will max out for this day because I'm very excited about this and I want to have some really equipped counters. So it looks like 2 more of my Hydreigons going all the way to level 50. In spot number 5, we have Psycho Cut and Shadow Ball on Mewtwo. In spot number 6, we have Bite and Crunch on Shadow Tyranitar. Remember, Shadows do take more Stardust. Obviously, the Legendary is going to be a premium XL candy track. Then we have Snarl and Dark Pulse on Mega Absol. And then next, we're going to have Shadow Claw and Shadow Force on Giratina Origin Form. Great Pokemon. Man, maybe I need to max out a second one of these so I can really get after it. But that Hydreigon is a budget counter. We should have more than enough XL candy, and it is an absolute monster. So that one does do a very good job for us in a very high level budget counter spot. But the Hydreigon you are going to have to watch out for because it is going to be weak to fighting, and it also is going to be weak to ice. So Ice Beam as well as Focus Blast will do damage on this Pokemon quite significantly. Then we have Bite and Crunch on Mega Gyarados, followed by the Golden Goat with Hex and Shadow Ball. It's really surprising to see that Pokemon up there, and that is going to be a Ghost and a Steel type combination. Pretty effective there. And the Mega Alakazam with Psycho Cut and Shadow Ball, followed by the Shadow Weavile. Very, very glassy here. Snarl and Foul Play on that Pokemon, which then leads us into the Hex and the Shadow Ball on the Chandelure. Okay, so Chandelure, another budget type counter in here. Great Pokemon to use. Very big fan right here. This one and the Hydreigon, since they both have had Calm Days, we should have more than enough candy and more than enough XL candy. But the one thing I am going to caution you guys here, I really would like you guys to focus on having at least level 40 counters before you max one with all your resources to level 50. It's better to have multiple level 40 counters than one level 50 and the rest at level 20 and 25. Please don't do that because you're not going to be as strong through the longevity of the fight. And then we have Snarl and Dark Pulse on Darkrai, followed by Snarl and Foul Play on Houndoom, and then we have the Mega Gardevoir coming in here with Charge Beam and Shadow Ball. And then we have Mega Ampharos, Mega Scissor, would disregard both of these Pokemon. And then we have both Hoopas, Yveltal, Lunala, as well as Mewtwo. But if you guys do want another counter, in spot number 29 is going to be Weavile with Snarl and Foul Play. Okay, so now let's move on to the weather conditions. What's going to be the optimal weather condition to fight this Pokemon in, as well as to get this Pokemon? Okay, so there's multiple different things going on here for this Pokemon. In number 1, Flamethrower will be boosted in sunny weather. We're going to have cloudy weather, which will boost Focus Blast. That's really going to do a lot of damage on our Pokemon. Then when we go into the foggy weather will boost all of our Ghost type counters as well as our Dark type. So this Pokemon is going to get taken down very fast because those are going to be the premier counters against this Pokemon. Bug type in the rainy weather doesn't really do too much. Then we have snowy weather, also going to boost the Ice Beam, but not really super effective here and nothing that we have to worry about. But the most important weather condition is going to be windy weather because that will boost the Mewtwo Shadow Form all the way to level 25, but it's also going to boost the Psycho Cut as well as Confusion, which are going to be the quick moves, and Psychic, which is going to be the charge move, which if you are using a Mega Gengar will take that Pokemon down very fast. But most importantly, guys, have a lot of fun out there. Enjoy yourself. Appreciate you guys being here as always. To all of my likers, comments, and subscribers, Patreon members, everybody take your support, subscription, and participation to X level. I'm going to see you guys out on the next video. Peace. I want to take this time to thank everybody who supports me in every facet. It means the world to me, and an extra special thank you to all my Patreons. I greatly appreciate the extra support to continue to allow me to pursue Pokemon Go full time, allowing me to create my daily video uploads in the most timely fashion for everyone's benefit. Plus, I get the amazing experience of sharing my creative processes behind the scenes and raiding all around the globe with select upper tiers. Thank you everybody for being a part of the Trainer Club. You all mean the absolute world to me, and I will see you guys out on the next video.